Australia has a reputation, and most of it is deserved. But here's what people get wrong. Most of Australia's famous killers, the spiders, the jellyfish, the snakes, they don't hunt you. They react to you. They bite when stepped on, sting when touched, strike when cornered. The danger is proximity, not pursuit. What most people don't talk about is the small number of Australian predators capable of killing a human being. Some may treat a human as prey. Others attack because they feel threatened, cornered, or simply share the same space. But every animal on this list has one thing in common. Under the right circumstances, it can kill. Today, we're counting down 6 of them. This ranking considers how deadly each animal can be, how likely people are to encounter it, and how little time a victim has to survive an attack. And by the time we reach number 1, you'll understand why Australia isn't just the most venomous continent on Earth. It's one of the few places left where a human life can end in minutes, in completely ordinary circumstances, without any warning at all. If you enjoy documentaries that uncover the world's most dangerous animals, hidden wildlife, and the science behind nature's deadliest predators, you're in the right place. Let's start at number 6, and we're heading north. The saltwater crocodile is the largest living reptile on the planet. The biggest males exceed 6 meters in length and weigh over a metric ton. They've been around for roughly 200 million years, surviving every mass extinction event that wiped out most life on Earth, and they have spent that entire time being refined into one of the most effective ambush predators that has ever existed. In northern Australia, they are everywhere. Every major river system, every coastal estuary, every flooded billabong from Broome in Western Australia to Gladstone in Queensland. If there is standing water in the top end, there is a realistic chance that a saltwater crocodile is in it. What separates the saltwater crocodile from most other animals on this list is that its attacks on humans are frequently predatory in nature. There is no injury that pushed it toward easier prey, no territory being defended, no provocation required. To a large salty, a human standing at the water's edge can become just another prey item, an animal of an appropriate size that has made the mistake of getting close enough to reach. Their hunting strategy is patience taken to an extreme. They can lie motionless for hours, submerged with only their eyes and nostrils above the surface, indistinguishable from a floating log. They wait, they watch, and when something comes within range, the attack happens so fast that witnesses often can't describe what they saw. The lunge, the grab, and the death roll, a full-body spinning motion that tears tissue, breaks bones, and drags the victim underwater, all happen in under 3 seconds. Their bite force is 3,700 psi, the strongest of any living animal on Earth. Once you are in the water with one, escape is almost physically impossible. Saltwater crocodiles were hunted nearly to extinction by the early 1970s. Legal protection introduced in 1971 allowed populations to recover dramatically, one of Australia's great conservation success stories. The catch is that more crocodiles means more territory, more movement into floodplains and roadside channels, and far more dangerous encounters with people. Australia now averages between 1 and 2 fatal saltwater crocodile attacks per year, and that number almost certainly underestimates the true toll, because remote communities in the Northern Territory and Cape York don't always report incidents to national databases. What experienced locals in the top end understand, and what tourists routinely forget, is that no body of water in Northern Australia is ever truly safe. Not a calm beach, not a flooded road, not a river crossing that looks shallow. The crocodile doesn't need depth, it needs proximity, and it is extraordinarily good at waiting for that proximity to happen. The saltwater crocodile takes 6th place. If you're enjoying this documentary, consider subscribing. We publish weekly documentaries about wildlife, predators, survival, and the science behind the natural world. Now let's head offshore for number 5. The crocodile dominates Australia's rivers and estuaries, but the next predator doesn't need shallow water. It rules an environment that covers 70% of this planet, and where you can't even see the attack coming. Australia has over 25,000 kilometers of coastline, and patrolling a significant portion of that coastline is an animal that has remained essentially unchanged for roughly 11 million years, so well designed that evolution has had almost nothing to improve. The great white shark is the largest predatory fish in the world. Adults regularly exceed 5 meters in length and can weigh more than 2 metric tons. They are found along Australia's entire southern coastline, with particular concentrations around South Australia and Western Australia, where large seal colonies provide their preferred prey. Nothing in the ocean threatens them. They're at the absolute top of the marine food chain. Great white sharks account for more than a third of all fatal shark attacks in Australian waters. The Australian Shark Incident Database, maintained by Taronga Conservation Society since 1984, records over 1,196 shark bites since 1791, and the great white is consistently at the top of the fatality list. And while marine researchers note that most encounters involve the shark investigating an unfamiliar object, rather than actively targeting a person, whether the attack is exploratory or predatory makes little difference to the victim. The result can be exactly the same. A single bite that removes a limb, severs an artery, or delivers enough trauma that no amount of medical intervention will help. Their attack method is the ambush from below. Great whites are counter-shaded, dark on top, which makes them blend with deep water when viewed from above, and white underneath, which makes them invisible against the light surface when approached from depth. They accelerate vertically at up to 40 kilometers per hour and deliver one catastrophic strike. In open water, against a person who has no idea the approach is happening, there is almost no time to react. Between 2010 and 2013, Western Australia recorded 7 fatal shark attacks in 3 years, a cluster so statistically unusual that it triggered a national debate about population size, conservation policy, and beach safety that has never been fully resolved. Shark nets, drumlines, aerial surveillance, and culling programs have all been trialled, contested, and argued over. Every policy involves a trade-off between human safety and the protection of an animal that plays a critical role in marine ecosystems. Every summer the argument restarts. The great white shark takes 5th place. And our next predator is also a shark, one that many experts consider more dangerous in practice, responsible for fatal attacks in the very waters where most Australians actually swim. The great white gets most of the headlines, but among marine biologists there is a quieter consensus. In terms of the environments where deadly encounters actually happen, the tiger shark may represent a more consistent threat. The tiger shark is the second largest predatory shark in the world after the great white, with large individuals regularly exceeding 4 meters and capable of reaching 5.5. It is found throughout Australia's tropical and subtropical coastal waters, the Great Barrier Reef, the Gold Coast, and the warmer stretches of the New South Wales coastline. It tolerates shallower, warmer, murkier water than the great white, and unlike the great white, which often delivers a single exploratory bite and withdraws, the tiger shark frequently continues to engage. International research has documented tiger sharks taking multiple passes at a victim. The attack often doesn't end with a single bite. The tiger shark's name comes from the dark vertical stripes on its flanks, stripes that fade as the animal matures. What doesn't fade is the feeding behavior that earned it the nickname the garbage can of the sea. Tiger sharks have been found with license plates, tires, chunks of boat hull, and human remains in their stomachs. They are among the most opportunistic predators in the ocean, and they will investigate and consume almost anything that enters their space. Tiger sharks are one of the 4 species responsible for the vast majority of fatal attacks in Australian waters, alongside the great white, the bull shark, and the oceanic white tip. In Queensland, the Shark Control Program, operational since 1962, counts tiger and bull sharks as the primary targets of its drumline operations, catching approximately 400 target sharks per year. That program exists for a reason. In November 2020, a 59-year-old man was killed by a suspected tiger shark while bodyboarding off Cable Beach in Western Australia. In May 2006, a 21-year-old woman was killed in a multi-shark attack at North Stradbroke Island, an incident attributed to bull and tiger sharks. What makes the tiger shark particularly dangerous in the Australian context is the overlap between its preferred habitat and the beaches where Australians spend their summers. Great white encounters tend to cluster in colder, remote surf breaks. Tiger shark incidents occur in the warmer coastal water that families wade into every afternoon. The shark and the swimmer are sharing the same water, at the same time of year, in the same depth range. The tiger shark takes 4th place. We've now covered 3 animals capable of killing a person in seconds, but the next 2 are responsible for far more human deaths across Australia. And number 1 isn't even a predator of humans. Keep watching. The tiger shark operates in warm coastal water, but the next predator goes somewhere no one expects a shark to be, deep inside Australia's rivers, harbours, and urban waterways. And when it attacks, it doesn't stop. When most people picture a fatal shark encounter, they imagine open ocean, deep water, a surfer far from shore. They don't imagine a calm tidal creek, barely knee-deep within sight of a Gold Coast shopping centre. But the bull shark doesn't make those distinctions. The bull shark is, by the assessment of most marine biologists, the most dangerous shark species on Earth. Not because it's the largest, but because of where it lives. Unlike great whites, which prefer cold, deep offshore environments, bull sharks thrive in warm, shallow coastal water. They are one of the only shark species capable of surviving in fresh water, able to regulate their internal chemistry to penetrate river systems hundreds of kilometers from the coast. Brisbane's river has bull sharks. Sydney Harbour has bull sharks. Perth's Swan River has recorded bull sharks. They go wherever there is food. And wherever there is food near an Australian coastline, there are people. 4 species account for the vast majority of fatal shark attacks in Australian waters, and the bull shark is consistently among them. It is aggressive, territorial, and completely at home in the kind of warm, accessible water that Australians spend their summers in. The standard beach setting, calm, shallow, near a river mouth or estuary, is essentially ideal bull shark habitat. What makes the bull shark particularly dangerous once it engages is its persistence. Great whites typically deliver a single exploratory bite and withdraw. The attack with a bull shark often doesn't end with a single bite. Multiple witnesses to bull shark attacks have described the animal continuing to circle and return even after the victim was being pulled toward shore. In shallow water, where there is nowhere to retreat, that persistence is what makes these encounters so often fatal. The 2023 fatal attack on a teenager in Perth's Swan River, confirmed as almost certainly a bull shark, illustrated the point precisely. The animal was in an urban river in daylight, in a place that does not feel like somewhere this is supposed to happen. The bull shark takes 3rd place. Now we're leaving the coast entirely and heading to the farms, backyards, walking trails, and paddocks of eastern Australia, and to an animal responsible for more human deaths in this country than every shark species combined. The bull shark surprises people because of where it appears. The eastern brown surprises people because of where it's been all along. The eastern brown snake is one of Australia's most successful predators. It hunts rodents, not people. But it kills more Australians than any other snake because it lives where people live, in the paddocks, suburban gardens, golf courses, and grass verges of the entire eastern seaboard, from far north Queensland through New South Wales, Victoria, and into South Australia. And it does so with venom that can kill a healthy adult in under 2 hours. The eastern brown is the 2nd most venomous land snake in the world. Its venom contains a combination of neurotoxins and procoagulants, compounds that attack the nervous system while simultaneously triggering uncontrolled clotting inside the blood vessels. The result is a progressive cascade: cardiovascular collapse, kidney failure, internal hemorrhage, and paralysis. Antivenom has dramatically reduced the death toll since its introduction, but the eastern brown is still responsible for approximately 60% of all fatal snakebites in Australia, more than any other species by a wide margin. What makes it more lethal than Australia's other highly venomous snakes is a combination of 3 things: abundance, habitat, and temperament. The inland taipan has more toxic venom, but lives in remote desert where deadly encounters are rare. The eastern brown lives in the same environment humans do. It hunts the mice and rats that gather around farms and suburban properties. It shelters under corrugated iron, in hay bales, in long grass along fence lines, in garden sheds, and occasionally inside houses. It is there because its prey is there. Its prey is there because humans are there. And when it feels threatened, it does not retreat. An agitated eastern brown will rear into an S-shaped striking posture and strike with extraordinary speed, repeatedly, sometimes several times before the person has registered what is happening. Victims have described not knowing they'd been bitten until the first symptoms appeared. There is no famous eastern brown fatality, no named case that defined it in the national conversation. It kills in the most ordinary circumstances: a farmer reaching into hay, a child stepping barefoot off a back porch, a jogger on an early morning trail, a gardener moving a piece of timber. That ordinariness is precisely the point. It doesn't require you to seek it out. It is already where you are. The eastern brown snake takes second place, and for our number one, we're back on the coast. In the warmest, clearest, most inviting-looking water on the continent, and with something that makes everything else on this list look slow. The coast of northern Australia, October to May. Warm, calm, transparent water, the kind of beach that looks like a travel poster. And somewhere in that water, nearly invisible, is an animal that can end a human life in under 2 minutes. The box jellyfish, Chironex fleckeri, is considered the most venomous marine animal in the world. Its bell is roughly the size of a basketball. Its tentacles extend up to 3 meters and carry an estimated 5,000 million nematocysts, microscopic venom injection structures that fire on contact with skin, independently of whether the jellyfish is alive or dead. Their significant sting activates multiple systems simultaneously: cardiovascular attack, rapid skin cell death, and nervous system disruption, all at once. The pain is described by survivors as immediate and total. People have been stung, run from the water, collapsed on the beach, and died before anyone could reach them. The entire sequence can take less than 5 minutes. Unlike crocodiles or sharks, the box jellyfish doesn't pursue people, yet few Australian animals kill faster. Its danger comes from sharing the exact waters where millions of people swim every year, and from being almost impossible to see. Unlike most jellyfish that drift passively, Chironex fleckeri actively hunts fish and small crustaceans, not humans. But it has 24 eyes arranged in 4 clusters around its bell and can move with direction through the water. It is found in warm, shallow, coastal water, close to shore, during the months when Australians and tourists are most likely to be in it. In glare or low light, it is effectively transparent until the moment of contact. Despite improved treatment and protective measures, the box jellyfish remains one of Australia's deadliest marine animals and one of the fastest killers in the natural world. The documented fatalities represent a minimum. Many stings in remote northern communities are never formally recorded. Stinger suits, warning signs, and vinegar stations have reduced deaths in monitored areas. But in the vast stretches of northern coastline where none of those protections exist, the risk is unchanged. The box jellyfish takes the top spot, not because it hunts humans, but because nothing in Australian waters kills more efficiently, more suddenly, or with less warning. And because it does so in the places where people feel the safest. Which animal surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments. And tell us which country you'd like us to cover next. Australia is home to some of the most extraordinary wildlife on Earth. Understanding these animals isn't about fear. It's about knowing how nature really works. Some are hunters. Some are defensive. Some are almost impossible to see. But every one of them has the ability to kill a human being under the wrong circumstances. If you enjoyed this documentary and want more in-depth videos about dangerous wildlife, animal behavior, and survival stories from around the world, subscribe to the channel. New documentaries every week. The wild is far more fascinating than fiction. See you in the next documentary.